The quality of the fat you eat doesn't just sit in your bloodstream, it gets built into the outer membrane of every single cell in your body. And if you build those membranes from the wrong fats, they stiffen, your cells stop communicating properly, and even your insulin stops working the way it should. This is metabolic dysfunction at the most fundamental level there is. Let me show you. I'm Dr. Padda. Earlier in the series, we talked about the balance of fats in your diet and the inflammation they drive. Too often, modern medicine treats patients like parts on a conveyor belt, but in this clinic, we reject that assembly line model. We look at the biological soil, your unique metabolic terrain. This episode goes one layer deeper to how those fats literally become the building material of your cell membranes and why the fluidity of those membranes matters enormously for your metabolism and your pain. Here's the foundational fact. Every cell in your body is enclosed by a membrane made largely of fats. And critically, the composition of that membrane reflects the fats you eat. Eat a diet rich in healthy fats, and you build supple, fluid membranes. Eat a diet dominated by poor quality fats, the damaged, processed, oxidized fats, and the excess omega-6 we discussed earlier, and you build stiffer, more rigid membranes. This isn't a metaphor. The physical character of your cell membranes is, in part, a record of your diet. And that character matters, because the membrane is where much of a cell's most important business happens. Now the mechanism. Embedded in your cell membranes are receptors, the antennas your cells use to receive signals from hormones and messengers. For those receptors to work, to flex, cluster, and transmit their signals inward, the membrane around them needs to remain fluid. Picture receptors trying to move within a membrane. In a fluid membrane, they function smoothly. In a stiff, rigid one, they're stuck and impaired. Here's the crucial link. This includes the insulin receptor. When membranes stiffen from poor dietary fat quality, insulin signaling at the cell surface is impaired, contributing to the insulin resistance that we established in episode 1 as a foundational driver of pain. So the quality of your dietary fat reaches all the way down to whether your cells can hear insulin at all. And it's not only insulin. Membrane fluidity affects cellular communication broadly, the countless signals cells send and receive to coordinate function, repair, and inflammation control. When membranes stiffen, that whole communication network degrades. Cells become a little deaf to the signals that keep them healthy and coordinated. For tissues trying to repair, for nerves trying to regulate themselves, for the immune system trying to resolve inflammation, impaired membrane-level communication is a quiet, pervasive handicap. It's dysfunction not in one organ, but in the basic operating layer of every cell at once. The science here is well-grounded. It's established that dietary fatty acid composition influences cell membrane composition and fluidity. Classic research connected membrane fatty acid makeup to insulin action and sensitivity, and we understand that membrane fluidity affects receptor and signaling function broadly. This is fundamental cell biology, and it's a powerful reminder that Mao's "you are what you eat" is true right down to the membrane of every cell. To fix the terrain, we must measure it. We perform what I call a nerve block audit and a forensic analysis of your biomarkers, from LDL-P to inflammatory cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha. So if you've been given dietary advice that focused only on calories or grams of fat, while ignoring the quality and type of fat, you were given an incomplete map. Your body doesn't just count fat, it builds with it. The kind of fat you eat becomes the physical fabric of your cells. That's a far more profound truth than fat is fattening, and no one may have explained it to you. Understanding it turns your food choices into something powerful, the literal raw material of healthier cells. So here's what we do. We focus on the quality of the fats you're building from, systematically reducing the damaged, processed, and excess omega-6 fats that stiffen membranes, and supplying the high-quality fats, including omega-3s, that restore fluidity. This works hand in hand with the fat balance episode from earlier in the series. As your membranes are gradually rebuilt from better materials, fluidity is restored, your insulin receptors and other receptors function better, cellular communication improves, and the foundational metabolic dysfunction underneath your pain begins to lift. It's slow, deep work. You're remodeling cells, but it changes the operating system your whole body runs on. You rebuild your cells from what you eat. Give them the right materials, and they work the way they're supposed to. This is about more than just pain relief. It's about metabolic sovereignty. By following the Padda protocol, you take back control of your own cellular health. If your metabolic problems have resisted every surface level fix, the answer may live at the level of your membranes. Go to painmd.tv and take the first step. I'm Dr. Padda. Let's rebuild you from the cell up.